ClassicGameRoom.com.
Welcome to Classic Game Room. What happens when you combine Spy Hunter with a vertical scrolling spaceship shooter style arcade game? You get Action Fighter for the Sega Master System. Prepare to get your ass kicked. Action Fighter is a really interesting game, released in 1986 from Sega. It's like two games combined into one. Spy Hunter meets a vertical scrolling spaceship shooter. You start the game Spy Hunter style in a motorcycle, shooting cars and ambulances, which drop letters that you collect until you transform into a car, and eventually a flying Porsche 911. It's kind of weird that this game exists. You're being scored, but you're also being timed during the first level like Spy Hunter, meaning you have unlimited lives until the timer runs out. So the faster you can make it through the road sequence, the more time you have in the flying sequence. And it's pretty much impossible. This game is ridiculously challenging. If you drive too fast, you're going to crash. If you drive too slow, the other cars are going to run you off the road. There's a balance between the two, but even then, after several games, you'll find the Spy Hunter sequence just gets in the way. Because no matter how well you drive or how many enemies you blow up in the driving sequence, it's irrelevant, because the real challenge is yet to come. Prepare for merciless vertical scrolling spaceship shooter action with incredibly touchy controls and enemies that you can't see. That's right, kids, it's Spy Hunter meets Xevious. Now, it should be noted you have unlimited lives until that timer runs out, so the less you crash, the better you're going to do, because the vertical scrolling shooter section is really tough. I dig that you can name your character each time you play the game. It'll save your high score until you reset your Master System. And while it's not a fantastic game, it's so bizarre that I've got to recommend it. I mean, how many games give you the Spy Hunter truck with the Sega logo on top that upgrades your weapons? If you play your cards right, you can go through the flying sequence with the missile launchers. That'll make your life slightly easier until something crashes into you, because that's going to inevitably happen. The flying sequence is repetitive and extremely frustrating because the enemies move a lot faster than you do, so they're going to crash into you 9 times out of 10. And that 1 time out of 10 they'll shoot you down, so you really have no hope. I love these kinds of games, and I can't get through level 2 of Action Fighter. In fact, even getting to level 2 is difficult. You have to drive well enough and just hope that things don't crash into you so you can get through the flying sequence with the timer instead of relying on extra lives. While it's cool, I think you'll quickly realize the driving sequence is a game of luck, because I'm blowing up enemies here, but it's still not dropping any letters. And I really don't care about the score at this point. I just want to get through the flying sequence before the timer runs out. So drop some damn letters. Have fun naming your character. I really don't know what the best strategy here is. Memorization works up to a point, but things are still going to crash into you, so maybe just trying to stay out of the way is your best option until you reach some end bosses, which will be happy to shoot you down. And by that point, you'll be running on lives and not the timer, so you're screwed. I picked this game up years ago for a whopping $2. Action Fighter is kind of cool. It's not a great game, but Spy Hunter mixed with Xevious just sounds like something you should own, doesn't it? You can easily hunt this one down online. Hours of somewhat repetitive but extremely challenging games await you in Action Fighter. Hey Sega, how about a sequel? Because, well, it's kind of interesting. Maybe for the next one you can throw a third game into the mix like Shinobi. Sounds like a winner to me. Action Fighter.